Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is going to be a lecture for 9th and 10th December. This is going to be based on the unit 89 and 90 from Oxford Practice Grammar. So this lecture is going to be based on the usage of articles and with the specific adverbs quite such what rather, and this is going to be discussing the usage of the definite article the with place names. So unit 89 is related to the discussion of quite a such a what a. Now these are the adverbs and how such adverbs are used, and how the indefinite article a and an and the definite article the are used with such adverbs we are going to discuss in this unit. Introduction. After quite, such, and what, we can use a phrase with a or an. For example, a game. There is often an adjective as well. For example, such a good team. Such a is basically an adjective. Section B. Very, quite, rather, etc. A or an goes before very, fairly, really, etc. It's a very old house. Now, if you try to analyze this sentence, let's pull it apart and let's look at the structure of this sentence. It's a very old house. House is a noun and old is an adjective. So, very is an adverb. Adverb modifies or gives us more information about a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So here you can see that the indefinite article a is used before very. Now very is an adverb of degree. It's a fairly long walk. Fairly is also the adverb of degree, and it tells us about what kind of long walk did they have. Fairly means in a considerable amount, यानी कि considerable हद तक. अगर आपसे कहा जाए कि it's a walk and then after that it's a long walk, then of course you are going to ask a question how long of a walk it was, and then you will say it's a fairly long walk. So fairly basically tells you that it was a considerably long walk. When I say considerably, it means a substantially long walk. यानी कि थोड़ी सी लंबी ज़्यादा जो है वो walk है. I made a really stupid mistake. Really stupid mistake. Now mistake is a noun and stupid is an adjective. So really is an adverb. So you can see here that the placement of a is right before really. And in all these three sentences, you can see that a is placed before very, fairly, and really. But a or an usually goes after quite. Now this is a point to be noted, that when you use quite, now quite is an adverb of degree. When I say an adverb of degree, it means that it tells us about something or a process in the form of degree. Now let's say that degree is from lowest to the highest. So, quite is an adverb of degree. It also means a substantial degree. Substantial का वही मतलब है कि एक noticeable degree तक जो है वो कोई काम हुआ है. So it's quite an old house. Now, what if you are you are standing on a road and you are looking at a house and you ask someone that it's a house, and then someone tells you that it's an old house. Now you will ask someone how much of an old house this is, and how old, not how much, but how old this house is, and then someone will tell you it's quite an old house. Quite means काफी ज़्यादा, ठीक है, काफी हद तक. So it's quite an old house. Now here you can see that the article an is used after quite. And I told you that quite is the adverb of degree. There was quite a crowd. Now, when it comes to using a or an in such situations, you are going to follow the same rules. जब आप a और an use करते हैं, तो आप वही rule use करेंगे जो आप पीछे use करते रहे हैं. यानी कि an vowel sound से पहले शुरू होने वाले word से आएगा और अ जो है उन word से पहले आएगा जो कि consonant sound से शुरू होते हैं. अब यहाँ पर आपको जो चीज़ याद रखनी है वो क्या है कि quite जो है वो पहले आएगा और उसके बाद का जो है वो जो भी आर्टिकल आपने यूज करना है वो आएगा. ए और एन कैन गो आइदर बिफोर और आफ्टर रादर. ना पहले में आपने देखा कि वेरी से पहले ए या एन आ सकता है. ए और एन क्वाइट के बाद हमेशा आता है. और रादर इज ऑल्सो एन एडवर्ब. सो रादर का मतलब यही है, थोड़ा सा कंपैरिजन में चला जाता है. तो आप यहाँ रादर के बारे में आपको बताया जा रहा है कि आप ए और एन रादर से पहले भी यूज कर सकते हैं और उसके बाद भी यूज कर सकते हैं. इट्स अ रादर ओल्ड हाउस, इट्स रादर एन ओल्ड हाउस. लेकिन जो अ और एन है वो हमेशा फॉलो करेंगे उस रूल को कि जहाँ पर वो आ रहे हैं. इफ यू लुक एट द फर्स्ट सेंटेंस, इट्स अ रादर ओल्ड हाउस, तो वहां पर आपने अ यूज किया. एक्सक्यूज मी. अगर जो है वो आपने यूज किया है वो रादर के र साउंड को देखकर किया है, बिकॉज रादर स्टार्टिंग विद अ र दैट इज अ कॉन्सोनेंट साउंड. लेकिन अगर रादर के बाद आपने आर्टिकल यूज करना है तो फिर एन यूज करेंगे. एन इसलिए क्योंकि वो ओल्ड जो है, ओल्ड दैट इज अ डिफ सॉन्ग, यानी कि वो वाल साउंड है, तो इसलिए आप एन यूज करेंगे. We can also use very, quite, rather, etc. With an adjective, with plural or uncountable noun. They are very old houses. Now here you can see, let's consider it in the reverse order. Let's look at the noun first, house. Now you have been given the plural of house here, which is houses. And then you use the adjective before that, that is the old. And right before old, you have the adverb very. So, we can also use very, quite, and rather with an adjective that is used before a plural or an uncountable noun. This is quite nice coffee. Now, coffee is a noun. What kind of coffee it is? It is a nice coffee. And how much of a nice coffee it is? It is quite nice coffee. Let's discuss so and such a. So is an adverb and such a is an adjective. So, the structure is be with so with an adjective. The test was so easy. How was the test? It was easy. How much easy was it? It was so easy. The hill was so steep. It's so inconvenient without a car. तो सो का स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो आप यहाँ नोट कर लें. द स्ट्रक्चर इज बी. बी का मतलब है, मैंने इफ यू हैव अटेंडेड द लेक्चर्स इन द क्लास एंड फॉर द अदर्स, बी इज द वेरी बेसिक फॉर्म ऑफ द हेल्पिंग वर्ब्स. बी वहाँ ये डिनोट करता है कि प्रेजेंट में होगा तो इज आर एम हो जाएगा, पास्ट में होगा तो वॉज वर हो जाएगा. सो बी इज द वेरी बेसिक फॉर्म ऑफ इज आर एम वॉज एंड वर. तो आपको यहाँ स्ट्रक्चर को एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए बी यानी कि बेसिक फॉर्म लगाई गई है. फिर सो का प्लेसमेंट बताया गया कि सेंटेंस में सो कहाँ आता है, एडजेक्टिव से पहले आता है और हेल्पिंग वर्ब के बाद आता है. सो द टेस्ट वाज सो इजी. The test was so easy. Now here you can see easy is an adjective and so is used before it, and before that is the helping verb. Such a, an. The structure is such with a or an adjective and a noun. It was such an easy test. Now, such an easy test, let's look at it. Let's analyze it. Test is a noun. Easy is an adjective. An is, of course, the indefinite article. And such is an adjective again. Now, such an easy test. So here we can say that I've told you that such a is an adjective. लेकिन अगर ये adjective से पहले आ रहा है तो ये adverb की कैटेगरी में चला जाएगा, फिर हम इसे adverb कंसिडर करेंगे. सेंटेंस से हटकर इसे एडजेक्टिव कंसिडर किया जाता है, लेकिन सेंटेंस के अंदर अगर ये एडजेक्टिव से पहले आ रहा है तो हम इसे एडवर्ब कंसिडर करेंगे. The hill was so steep, it's so inconvenient without a car. We have discussed this already. Let's read the sentences below such a. It was such a steep hill. अब so के साथ the hill was so steep. Now here you can see that the placements have changed. The hill is in the first part of the sentence and steep is afterwards. When using such a, you can say it was such a steep hill. यहाँ पर noun sentence के end पे आ गया और पहले जो noun था वो पहले था. हिल जो था वो so में पहले था और such वाले sentence में ये बाद में है. So इससे भी आपको पता चलना चाहिए कि sentence का जो structure है वो कैसा होगा. It's such a nuisance without a car. Or it's so inconvenient without a car. Now, nuisance and inconvenient both basically mean the same thing, a cause of disturbance. ठीक है? So, it's such a nuisance without a car. We can also use such with an adjective with a plural or uncountable noun. अब आप देखें so के साथ sentence कैसे use हुआ है. The weather is so nice. वेदर पहले आ गया तो कितना नाइस है, सो नाइस है. सच के साथ कैसे आएगा, वी आर हैविंग सच नाइस वेदर. वेदर क्या है, इट इज अ नाइस वेदर. कितना नाइस वेदर है, सच नाइस वेदर. अब वेदर जो है वो अनकाउंटेबल नाउन है, इसीलिए उसके साथ हमने अ या एन यूज नहीं किया. टॉम्स जोक्स आर सो ऑफुल. ऑफुल क्या चीज है, टॉम के जोक्स कितने ऑफुल हैं, सो ऑफुल. यहाँ पर आप देखें सो और जो है वो नाइस और ऑफुल से पहले आया है. टॉम टेल्स सच ऑफुल जोक्स. तो ये पूरा का पूरा फ्रेज इसी तरीके से आएगा, यानी कि सच और एडजेक्टिव और साथ उसके नाउन. नोट दी सेंटेंसेस विद लॉन्ग, फार, मेनी, मच एंड अ लॉट ऑफ. इट्स सो लॉन्ग सिंस आई सॉ यू. बहुत अरसा हो गया जब से मैंने तुम्हें नहीं देखा था. Why are we so far from the beach? हम बीच से इतनी ज्यादा दूर क्यों हैं? There were so many people. बहुत ज्यादा लोग थे वहाँ. You waste so much time. तुम बहुत वक्त जाया करते हो. अब यही sentences को अगर सच के साथ यूज किया जाए तो कैसे होगा? It's such a long time since I saw you. It's such a long way to the beach. There are such a lot of people. You waste such a lot of time. We can use this structure with so, that और such that. यानी कि that के साथ अब आप use करेंगे तो कैसे होगा? Emma was so angry with Matthew that she threw a plate at him. एमा एंग्री थी तो उसका रिजल्ट क्या निकला, शी थ्रू अ प्लेट एट हिम. तो यहाँ से आपको ये भी हिंट मिला दैट सो इज ऑल्सो यूज टू सिग्निफाई टू टेल अस अबाउट द रिजल्ट ऑफ समथिंग. ठीक है, दैट समथिंग is coming out as a result of an action. So Emma was so angry. Angry is the first action, and in as a consequence of that, as a result of that, what happened, she threw a plate at Matthew. I was so unlucky you wouldn't believe it. I was so unlucky you wouldn't believe it. Vicky got such a nice welcome that she almost cried. Now this is the first action, nice welcome, and then what happened as a result of that action, that she almost cried. I had such bad luck you wouldn't believe it. So different sentences, same sentences have been given here with the variation of so and such a, just to give you an idea how to use so and such a in a sentence, because the structure of the sentence varies and the placement of the indefinite article a and an also varies when you use these adverbs and adjectives. Now let's look at what a. In an exclamation, we can use what a or what an with a singular noun and what with a plural or uncountable noun. When we use what with a singular noun, what a goal, what a good idea. Now, goal and good idea are singular nouns. So that is why you can use what a. With plural nouns, what lovely flowers, what nice shoes you've got on. Now, if you will say what a, you can also use what an if the noun is beginning with a vowel sound. You already know the rule here. What a with an uncountable noun? What rubbish. What rubbish. Rubbish is an uncountable noun, so you do not use a here. What fun we had. Now fun is an also uncountable noun, so you do not use any article here, you simply use what here. So what basically is an expression. Sometimes in some situations in the movies you might have heard that if someone has been given some kind of news that is quite disturbing, and as an expression you use what. Now what is not exactly a question, it is basically an exclamation expressing that you are quite disturbed over what you heard. So now let's turn to our exercise. Exercise 3 and 4 are your homework, and exercise 1 and 2 we will do together. So using very, quite, rather, so, etc. What do you say in these situations? Now the exercise has been organized in such a way that in the first statement you are given a situation, and in the second statement imagine that you are writing this you are delivering this dialogue, or you are writing this sentence or statement on your behalf. So how you are going to write it? Two exemplary statements have been done in front of you. You are telling someone about the show you saw. It was quite good. You should go and see it. It's quite a good show. You are describing Harriet to someone who doesn't know her. She is fairly tall. Well, Harriet is a fairly tall woman. Now let's do number one. You were talking about the Savoy Hotel, which is very grand. अब मुझे किसी ने ये सिचुएशन दी है और मुझे कहा है कि इमेजिन करें कि मैं सेवॉय होटल के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ और ये काफ़ी बड़ा होटल है। तो मैं कैसे इसके बारे में बताऊंगी? Yes, I know the Savoy. It's a very grand hotel. Number two, you are talking about your journey. It was quite tiring. I traveled a long way. It was quite a tiring journey. Number three, you are telling someone about Claire's flat. It's really big. I've been to Claire's place. It's a really big flat. Number four, you are telling a friend about your meal with Tom. It was quite nice. We went to that new restaurant. We had quite a nice meal. Question number two, so and such. Complete the conversation. Put in so or such. Sarah says, sorry, I'm so late. We had such a lot to do at work. Mark says, you shouldn't do so much. Sarah says, the boss gets in such a panic about things. She makes such a big fuss. Mark says, well, you shouldn't be so willing to work. Such long hours. No wonder you're so tired. You'll make yourself ill, you know. Let's turn to Unit 90, place names and the, using the article the with the place name. Now, while studying through this unit, you will realize and you will analyze that using the article the has no hard and fast rules with the place names. It has varied with the passage of time. और आप देखेंगे कि कुछ कैटेगरीज ऐसी हैं जहां पर आप द यूज कर सकते हैं जिनके लिए आप रूल्स याद रख सकते हैं बट स्टिल exceptions are there. It means that different cases are there. So you cannot say with certainty that the usage of the will be learning the rules regarding the usage of the with the place name is going to be a very bull's eye technique. That is what I can say. So let's study the introduction. Man says, "Could you tell me where the classic cinema is, please?" Rachel, "Yes, it's in Brook Street. Go along here and take the second left." Whether a name has the depends on the kind of place it is. For example, a street, Brook Street, or a cinema, the classic cinema, a lake, Lake Victoria, or a sea, the North Sea. Most place names do not have the. Now you can learn about the rules of the if you have a lot of exposure to the culture of that country. In the English speaking countries, if you have a lot of exposure to the media or the literature of that country, then only through that you can have the idea where you can use the article the with the place names. Most place names do not have the. Europe, California, Melbourne, Brook Street, Lake Victoria. Now, Europe is the name of the continent. California is the name of a state, US state. Melbourne is also a city and city or a state, more likely a state in Australia. Brook Street and Lake Victoria. Some place names have the, for example, a name with the word cinema or sea, the classic cinema, the North Sea. Whether we use the can also depend on the structure of the name. We do not use the with a possessive S. At Matilda's restaurant, possessive S means when something is shown in the possession of someone. For example, if I say, "This is my car," so if someone will refer to me, then that person will say, "This is the teacher's car." Now, teacher's car is with an apostrophe S, and that apostrophe S is the apostrophe of possession. जब कोई चीज किसी की मिल्कियत में होती है. So, at Matilda's restaurant. Now, here you can see no, the article is used here. We often use the in structures with of, with an adjective and with plural nouns. Now you can use the with the phrases or the structures where of is used, where an adjective is used, or where some plural noun names are used. The Avenue of the Americas. Now here you can see the avenue. The is used here. I'm pronouncing it the because of course I told you in the previous lectures that you pronounce it as the when it is used before the words that are starting with the vowel sounds. With an adjective, the White House. With a plural, the Bahamas. So here you can see that Avenue of the Americas has off in it, so you can use the with the avenue. Then you have the adjective here white, so you can use the here. Then you have the plural here Bahamas, so you use the here. Continents, countries, islands, states and counties. Most are without the. Traveling through Africa. Africa is a continent. A holiday in Portugal. Portugal is a country. On Jersey. Jersey is a state, uh, if I'm not wrong. To Rhode Island, as the name says. From Florida. Florida is also a state. And in Sussex. Words like republic and kingdom have the Irish Republic, the United Kingdom. Plural names also have the Netherlands, the USA, the Canary Islands. Regions. Regions ending with the name of a continent or country are without the. Central Asia, South Wales, Western Australia. Most other regions have the West, the Middle East, the Riviera, the Midlands. Phrases with of have the. This we have discussed this already in the section A. Uh, Phrases with of have the south of France. Hills and mountains. Most are without the. The names of the hills and mountains mostly are without the. She climbed Mount Everest down North Hill. Hills and hill ranges and mountain ranges have the. Now, if you're talking about the range of mountains or the hill range of hills, then you can use the here. Skiing in the Alps over the Rockies. Lakes, oceans, seas, rivers, and canals. Only lakes are without the. Now you can note these points down, they are going to help you, but then there is no specific reason that I can give you. I can only tell you how, where, and where the is used in what under what circumstances, but I cannot give you an exact explanation for this, that why the is used specifically with some place names and why not with some other place names. So only lakes are without the. Here they are telling you the rule that the lake names do not have the with them. Near Lake Michigan, beside Coniston Water. Seas, oceans, rivers, and canals have the. So all the names of the seas, oceans, rivers, and canals have the with them. The Mediterranean is a sea across the Atlantic, which is an ocean, the River Thames. Now, Thames is a river in United Kingdom. The Suez Canal, of course, as the name says, it is a canal. Cities, towns, suburbs, and villages. Cities, towns, suburbs. Suburbs basically are the outskirts of a city. किसी भी शहर के जो बैरूनी हिस्से होते हैं और जो फिर उसके बाद शहर से बाहर निकल के जो हिस्से होते हैं, outer, you can say the areas of a city, they are known as the suburbs. Most are without the. Now, if you look at the names of the cities, towns, suburbs, and villages, mostly are without the. Hare Hills is a suburb of Leeds. Houston is west of New Orleans. We live in North London. Exceptions are The Hague and the Bronx. Note also the West End of London. Roads, streets, squares, and parks. Most of these names are without the. Along Modern Road, in Church Street, on Fifth Avenue near Berkeley Square, through Central Park. Then there are a few exceptions. So, like I told you before, that there are always a few exceptions. Now, these exceptions are inexplainable. Why? Because as the language is used in a society, the language, the language rules are formed on their own. Sometimes we can give an explanation for these rules, but sometimes we cannot say with certainty why such rules are followed. So the high street, the avenue, the strand, the mall, main roads and numbered roads have the Bath Road, the road to Bath. Now Bath is the name of a place, the A5, the M6 motorway. Bridges. Most of the names of the bridges are without the. Over Tower Bridge, on Brooklyn Bridge, but again there are some exceptions. यानी कि कुछ ऐसे नाम हैं जिनके साथ आप the use करते हैं. कुछ bridges के ऐसे नाम हैं. Across the Golden Gate Bridge, the Severn Bridge, the bridge over the river Severn. Stations and airports, important buildings. We do not use the with most stations and airports, with religious, educational, and official buildings, or with palaces and houses. So the जो है ना वो इन के साथ normally use नहीं होता है. Stations, airports के साथ या फिर religious buildings के साथ, educational institutions के साथ या official buildings के साथ. To Waterloo. Waterloo is the name of a station. At Orly, which is an airport. Near St. Mary's Church, Merton College, Norwich Museum, Lambeth Palace, Ashdown House. Exceptions are names with of or with a noun. Noun can be the word science or adjective. Adjective is the word open. So ये हमने यूनिट ए में भी डिस्कस किया, सॉरी सेक्शन ए में डिस्कस किया कि जिधर ऑफ आता है तो वहां पर नॉर्मली द यूज कर लेते हैं. Theaters, cinemas, hotels, galleries, and centers. A possessive form is without the. Possession, we have already discussed this when we discussed at Matilda's restaurant. वो example discuss किया था, तो वही rule यहाँ follow होगा, that we are not going to use the with the nouns that have possessive form with them. St. Martin's Theatre at Durant's Hotel. In US, names with center are without the, near Lincoln Center. But usually theaters, cinemas, etc. have the. At the Globe Theatre, the Plaza Cinema, outside the Dorchester Hotel, in the Tate Gallery, the Brunel Shopping Center. Shops and restaurants. Most shops and restaurants are without the. Shopping at Bloomingdale's, at Matilda's restaurant. Names with a noun, body or studio etc. have often have the. अब ये वाले जो nouns हैं body या studio, science या open, इनके साथ इनसे पहले जो है वो the आएगा. The body shop, the studio, cafe. So let's turn to our exercise now. Question number 1. Place names and the. How much do you know about geography? Put in these names: Andes, Brussels, Irish Republic, Italy, Lake Michigan, River Nile, North, Pennsylvania, Tasmania, United Kingdom, West Indies. Decide if you need the. Now, exemplary statements have been given in front of you. You can look at them. I'm going to start with number 1. Chicago lies on the shore of Lake Michigan. So, no the here. Number 2, Sicily is a part of Italy. Number 3, the Andes are a mountain range in South America. Number 4, the United Kingdom is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Number 5, Tasmania is an island to the south of Australia. Number 6, Jamaica is an island in the West Indies. Number 7, the River Nile flows through Egypt. Number 8, Brussels is the capital of Belgium. Number 9, Manchester is in the north of England. Question number 2, roads and buildings, etc. Complete these sentences from a guide to London. Put in the words and decide if you need the. Number 1, you can take a trip by boat along the Thames. Number 2, the Serpentine is a lake in Hyde Park. Number 3, you can get to Heathrow Airport. Number 4, Nelson's column is in Trafalgar Square. Number 5, walk a little way along Westminster Bridge. Number 6, from there you get a view of the Houses of Parliament, not the Houses of Parliament. Number 7, the Queen lives at Buckingham Palace. Number 8, Earl's Court is in West London. Number 9, the M1 motorway goes north from London. Number 10, the Ritz is a very elegant hotel. Exercise number 3. Complete the conversation, put in the words and decide if you need the. Sarah says, we have just been to the States, to New York. Claire, oh really? I was there at Christmas. Were you on holiday? Sarah says, yes, and we really needed a break. It was wonderful. We saw the Statue of Liberty and we walked in Central Park. We did all the sights. We spent a day in the Metropolitan Museum of Art. And we walked along Broadway and around Macy's department store. Claire says, "Where did you stay?" Sarah says, "In a small hotel near Washington Square, not far from New York University." Claire says, "Last time I was there, I stayed at the Paramount. It's a nice hotel close to Broadway." Now if you can hear me quite clearly, I specifically I did the exercise in one go, and I quite in a very you can say in a very pronounced way I told you where the is used. So I did not give an explanation over the blanks where you did not have to use the. Question number 4. Question number 4. Roads, buildings, etc. A woman is asking Trevor the way. Put in the words and decide if you need the. Woman asks, "Excuse me, can you tell me the way to Millthorpe Station?" Trevor says, "Yes, go along here and turn left by the Little Theatre, opposite a building called Kingston House." Now you are not going to use any the with Kingston House. The road is Wood Lane. Again, you are not going to use any the with Wood Lane. Go along there, straight across the High Street, past the Royal Hotel, and you will see the station in front of you. Woman says, "Thank you very much." So question number 5 and 6 are your homework. So with this, we are done with the unit 89 and 90 from Oxford Practice Grammar. So I hope you will do your homework. Your lecture has formally ended. Allah Hafiz.